All right, guys, let's take a look at another Christopher Ward C60 Triton 600 meter Pro model. This is the 42 millimeter. There's 42, 40, and 38 options in the C60 lineup. Big thanks to my buddy Craig, who's just south of me, actually, in my home state, Michigan, for sending this in and hooking me up with a killer deal on that SRP 309, which is going to be part of my 50,000 subscriber giveaway. So that's why that's sitting in the background. I'll do a future video on that explaining all that. But let's focus on probably one of the best, just over $1,000 price point. Usually you can get some sort of coupons that brings it closer to like $1,000 on bracelet. It's really hard to top this. I'm trying to think off the top of my head another watch that really captures the true quality and build that this watch offers in that price point. And I can't think of anything that really truly competes with it. Seems like most watches price point wise are either going to be lower and you're not getting as much watch, or you have to jump up to say like the Oris Aquis to get to the same level of what you're really getting for the watch. So let's talk about size. 42 millimeter, 49.5 lug to lug, light catcher case. These Christopher Ward cases are amazing with their finishing, the brush, the polishing, the way they transitioned in all the different angles. It truly is a light catcher. It is very interesting. It's captivating. So just over 13.5 millimeter thick, so like 13.6 flat sapphire crystal with AR coating, 22 millimeter lug width. Bracelet tapers down nicely to 18. You have a fully milled clasp, double pusher, very simple to operate and clean, no sharp edges. Also has on the fly, no tool required adjustment. You just push that in and you can adjust it in and out, and the clasp is still really thin. So well done, and you're starting to see other brands bring this forward. I've only actually really seen one, and that was Zelos, that basically has a similar clasp system. Love it, absolutely love it. I would love to see more companies do clasp like this. This is a killer design. 7 millimeter crown, screw down, obviously, to get that 600 meter water depth rating. If you look at the case back here, you can see very smooth, nicely done, all the information you need on there. 600 meter depth rating, Swiss made, Christopher Ward. Very smooth. It's not going to be sharp or anything. This also has that quick release, no tool required bracelet removal. If you wanted to swap out to something different, or they actually have their hybrid straps. Those are awesome straps too to try out. And maybe that's something, let's talk about it real quick. This is really my only gripe with Christopher Ward, is the fact that us spoiled United States of American citizens are used to not really paying like an import duty or tax. State tax, fine. We do that all the time, right, on new items. So on this guy here, because we're over, I think the number is $800. I'm not sure if they're going to adjust that or not, but I think if it's an item over $800 being brought in from overseas, then we get tagged on with some more fees. And I don't even know exactly what the real number is, but it's sometimes over $100 depending on what it is. So you have to factor that into the cost of it. So now instead of being $11.50, tack on maybe another 120 bucks. Is that a deal breaker? No, but that puts that watch up into the $1,300 range. So if you were to maybe buy this on the hybrid strap without the bracelet and bring the price down, especially with a coupon, if you can get it down below $800, I think you are exempt from that tax or that duty, the import duty. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tried that. If you have, please comment down below. And then you can buy the bracelet separate on a different transaction, and then that one would be definitely under it. Then you have, it's not like a waste of money, because that money that you would have spent basically is going to pay for the bracelet. So you basically get the strap for free. I don't know, just a little gray area that maybe works. I could be wrong. Back to the watch. Using the Sellita SW200 movement, it has X1 GL C1 loom. The loom is phenomenal on these, and the movement is very good. This one's running at about plus 15 seconds, and Craig has had this a while and worn it. That's a snapshot in time, plus 15 seconds dial up. I'm sure it's, a little bit less than that as you move it around different positions. 120 click bezel. You can see that red, beautiful, dark red, burgundy almost, bezel insert ceramic. The bezel action on these wards, it's up there with the best bezel action I've ever ran across on a 120 click diver. It is so clean, consistent, and crisp. It's a pleasure, guys. Like, seriously. Whether you spin it slow or fast too. Sometimes you'll have a really nice bezel action slow, and then you try to spin it fast, and it kind of like fumbles upon itself. This one doesn't matter, slow or fast or whatever. It's still super, super precise and clean and fun to spin, play with. Let's see. We talked about the price. 845 pounds, I think, is what it is, and then I did the conversion. That's how I got 1148. They also offer a 60-day return policy and a 60-month movement warranty on these. So that's something good to have. Hopefully you never have to do it, but again, it kind of makes me think that if they had a USA authorized distributor, you wouldn't have to pay those import duties. Plus, if you had warranty issues, maybe they could be dealt with in the US. Now, Christopher Ward, if you ever watch my videos, maybe you can look into this. I don't know, because we all want your watches. The watches are phenomenal. I mean, people might gripe about the branding being off to the 9 o'clock or whatever. You can't make everybody happy, right? So, but you can certainly pander to your customer base. If they're in the United States, it would further grow those relations and help foster that ease of sale and service after the fact if needed. So maybe a USA distribution system is way more complicated than I think, but I suspect it could be done. But again, it depends on where all these watches are being sold. Is the US base enough to justify doing that? Just a topic I like to think about. Check out that handset. Super legible, super, tons of real estate for lume, and just an iconic handset, especially with that trident balance in the seconds hand. Also, you'll see like a little bit of brushing down the center of both the minute hand and the hour hand. So it kind of separates it a little bit and bounces the light a little bit different. It's kind of nice. I am absolutely in love with these watches. And let's see, I'm wearing the Oris, so let's just show it next to the Oris. These two kind of compete with one another. This is titanium, but if you were to get this one in stainless steel, I think street price is around $1,800 US. So $2,200 I think is retail on a stainless steel one. This one's titanium. We're not going to talk about that, but so $2,200 retail, $1,148 retail. You see what I mean? Like, they kind of compete with one another. They have same movements, similar designs and sizes. When I say designs, I mean like they're their own design, but like size-wise and look and appeal and kind of the same customers. The issue becomes that Christopher Wards are way more obtainable for most of us versus the Oris. You got to stretch a little bit to get that. So, but when you're talking the import duty fee, when that pushes this one up to say $1,400 potentially, now you're only like $400 away from the Oris. I don't know. Now you definitely have a battle on your hands. You could potentially be looking at buying the Oris instead of the Ward. Though I'm not saying the Ward is less than the Oris as far as quality, because it's not. I think it definitely punches higher than what you're paying for. Still awesome watch. I stand by that. Let me pop it on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can take a look at it. This one's sized for Craig's wrist, which is like 7 1/2, so it's going to be a little Bruce loose on me, but you can see the 42 by almost 50 is perfect on me. This is my first look at the black dial with the burgundy or red bezel. I think next to the white dialed one, this would probably be my next pick. This is a very, very good looking watch. All right, let's kill the lights and check the lume. If you guys have any questions, chime off down in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Oh, so that brings me to another point. Oris still does not lume their bezels. You know, some people like that, some people don't. But most of us dive watch wearing folk like more lume. So Christopher Ward looms the heck out of their stuff, and they use a much stronger lume than, say, BGW9. So that's kind of a mark for Christopher Ward. Just saying. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.